The Chicago Bears extended Ryan Poles, and this extension goes through 2029. It's a 3-year extension. And Ryan Poles, I feel like personally, he's done a good enough job to keep the job. Obviously, Matt Eberflus was the worst decision he could have done. And I think that's the decision that people have the most problems with Ryan Poles because of. If you take that away, Chase Claypool trading for him, you're going to make that move to help Justin Fields. Not a lot of people thought Chase Claypool was just going to be a bust and fall off the earth. He did ultimately, but at the time was a good player in his first couple seasons. Was insanely productive. Nate Davis was another bad move. The offensive line construction, year after year, we had the cheapest offensive line last season for our rookie quarterback, our new guy that's expected to be the franchise guy. That's obviously less than ideal, and Caleb Williams was sacked an historic number for the Bears. He was sacked 68 times. Come on. Claypool, Nate Davis, Matt Eberflus being the big stain, not constructing this offensive line well enough for quarterbacks to succeed. There's been a lot of hits and misses in the draft, especially. Velus Jones, terrible miss. Tyler Scott's been a miss. There's been some misses. I feel like he's hit more than he's missed. I saw a tweet. Kyler Gordon was somebody he drafted. Fantastic pick. This is probably his best draft pick. Jaquan Brisker, Braxton Jones was a great value. 5th round starting left tackle. Darnell Wright, Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, of course. Roma Dunze, Torrey Taylor's a phenomenal punter already. Last year as a rookie, put up a great season. Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Shamar Turner now. Guys he signed, TJ Edwards, great value for him. Tremaine Edmonds has been less than ideal. Hasn't been the player we thought he would be. DeAndre Swift, decent season. The vision was off, but sometimes he was our best offensive player. Drew Dahlman, great player. I'm excited to see what he can do for the Bears. The best center in the free agency class that was in this last free agency class. I think he's going to make a huge impact. He's going to give us center production we haven't had probably since Roberto Garza and Olin Kreutz. Guys, he traded for DJ Moore. Fantastic return. Body language was bad last season. Things, didn't look good for him. But the whole culture, everything that was going on in the house hall was just less than ideal. Not the best situation and environment. So I'll give him a pass last season. I think he'll have a big year this year, though. Montez Sweat, great year. Right as soon as we traded for him, huge impact. Defense got immensely better. Last season, so-and-so. Was hurt for majority of the season, dealing with injuries, but not the production we thought we'd get from him. Great player, though. Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney. Excited about those two additions to the offensive line. So Ryan Poles has really built this roster up to be very competitive. It's just all been about coaching. We've lost 7 games the last 2 seasons just strictly to coaching. So now having Ben Johnson, one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, you think things are going to finally come into fruition. And I think Ryan Poles we're now in position where we could correctly evaluate him. Dennis Allen, great defensive coach. You could evaluate what he'll do with this defense, with the defensive players that Poles has drafted. I think Kyler Gordon could elevate his game. Brisker, if he's healthy, could elevate his game. Tyreek Stevenson could benefit from having a coach like Al Harris. Matt Eberflus, the thing he did poorly was hire a competent coaching staff around him. Our defensive coordinator, had his house raided. Then he just, disappeared off the earth damn near. Didn't really hear about that situation. Chris Morgan was a terrible offensive line coach. Shane Waldron, terrible OC. Luke Getsy, terrible OC. So just miss after miss with this coaching staff. Now Ben Johnson has built a formidable coaching staff. Eric Bieniemy as your running backs coach. You feel great about that. Al Harris, Antoine Randall, you have fantastic coaches. Dennis Allen's going to be your defensive coordinator. There's going to be consistency with that because he's not going to get another head coaching job. So really like how this coaching staff looks all across the board, and that's just big in part for Ryan Poles finally getting the guy. And a lot can be said about, Ryan Poles having the trust of a guy like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson wouldn't have took the job if he didn't trust Ryan Poles that he could make something out of this team, that he trusted, his plan for the future. And Kevin Warren, everybody in the building trusts Ryan Poles. Caleb Williams trusts Ryan Poles. So I think that says a lot about Poles. I'm confident enough that Poles can, with the right coach, with everything coming into place now, can successfully build a championship contender with the Bears. And Ben Johnson has had a lot of say, a fair amount of say. So that's something I'm excited about. They seem like they're on the same page. That's all you want. The trio of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and Ryan Poles is a trio I can get behind. So this is the future of the Bears right now. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and Ryan Poles. And I think 2029, they're under contract till 2029. I think the Bears could get a Super Bowl before then. This roster is not that far away. Another good edge rusher and maybe a star running back. We can get Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. Or maybe, there's a lot of good edge rushers in this class upcoming. Like, if we get an edge rusher and a star running back, watch out. Like, the pieces are there. And Ryan Poles has done a great job keeping the pieces in place, extending the players that are playing well, replenishing these contracts, making moves that are not going to hurt you in the future, but adding pivotal players. And we saw him be aggressive as hell in free agency, make hella moves before free agency started. So I think, Ryan Poles likes what he has with this roster, and I think this is a team that can compete this season, and then in the next 2 years, they're going to be an NFC favorite to win the Super Bowl. So before 2029, I see this Bears team with Ryan Poles, with Ben Johnson, with Caleb Williams as a team that will win a Super Bowl, hoist the Lombardi Trophy before that contract is up for those guys. But I would want him to get an extension done with Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.